Everyone is talking about creating SBOMs, a software bill of materials. But what happens after that? So you have a list of open source components in an application. Most of them are good, but some have known vulnerabilities. For the vulnerable ones, it's time to initiate action and update them to the latest, safest versions. But there is something else you can do. In this week's installment, we'll discuss open source adoption. I'm Derek Weeks, reporting from Bethesda, Maryland. My friend Trey Herr, director of Cyberstatecraft at the Atlantic Council, is out with a new report this week. It's entitled Avoiding the Success Trap Toward Policy for Open Source Software as Infrastructure. The report itself addresses many topics, including infrastructure policy, addressing systemic risk in open source, security and sustainability, as well as adopting open source packages. That leads me back to the software bill of materials. If you're producing SBOMs for your applications, take a closer look at the trends across them. You might notice frequent appearances of packages like async, Lodash, Minimist, Debug, or jQuery. If your developers fancy a specific set of open source packages, you might consider adjusting your participation from open source consumer to open source contributor. Your teams can look at those packages that you're frequently using to determine if they're actually free from vulnerabilities and if you're using the latest versions of those packages. You might also ask your team to try and find new vulnerabilities in the code. If you're relying on these packages so much across so many different applications in your infrastructure, it might be worthwhile for your teams to take a closer look at participating in these projects. Maybe you could even help rewrite some of them to be more secure and adopt the projects in your organization to give them more attention, meaning contributing more security-conscious eyeballs to those projects and their code. Security by community does work. We can use this approach to create higher barriers to entry for our adversaries who are looking for their next easier attack vector. Consider a proactive relationship with open source to help yourself and the community. What project can your business adopt?
Search for and subscribe to It's 505 wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.